Yo, what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today is a sad day. We are here to officially announce that the previous number 8 strongest player in the game as of April 2025, 4 months ago, has quit. Who is that? Well, it's this individual. Me next, thanks, aka TOXSIK, aka previous king and leader of Pay to Win. This was from K85. And yeah, the news, I guess, has been here actually for a while. This has kind of been going on for, I guess, a couple weeks where people have been talking about TOXSIK and just kind of the MIA-ness, if you will. And we're going to show you some stuff and just kind of talk a little bit through this. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up because that's a lot. Thanks. So probably the first thing here is showcasing a chat here from the COD Discord where somebody had posted this. Celis had posted this, and you end up seeing someone says, "What happened? TOXSIK quit." Somebody made a joke saying all his flight attendants for different alliances, lol. And then you get this screenshot, which Tinsy had asked Guns at this time. By the way, can we get some words on the TOXSIK situation? Why is he kicked? Question mark. Did he quit? First and foremost, if you're going to ask why he's kicked, that assumes that he was kicked. Instead, don't need to say why is he kicked. You just say, was he kicked? Question marked. Or did he quit? Just, again, not like we're trying to be the grammar police, but let's just say that makes sense. Okay. Then we have the last one here, which was Guns actually replying a minute later. Unfortunately, we don't know where he went. He just ghosted. Hope he is okay. Now, again, TOXSIK was placed here right on the last time, which is about 4 months ago now. And yes, I know people. It's people have actually been asking me, boss, when are you going to start doing your top 25 series again? Well, as I tell people, whenever Fuzzy and them get everything settled over on their new Discord and they're, I guess, doing some stuff with the COD bot, the data bot there for COD, they'll let me know. But that's the main reason why I haven't. Basically, I've just been waiting kind of since then. There was actually an opportunity for me to do it last month, but as I mentioned at that time, that was when I was doing all the KVK prep stuff. So basically all the data I got from the pool at that time, which again, Fuzzy was able to get me one there, and it was a good one on the 7th, or I think it was the 6th or 7th. And so anyways, it's just probably going to be a little bit longer in short. However, TOXSIK previously was ranked number 8, and you could see here, right, if we type in TOXSIK, you can see, right, 15 times on the top 25 list. Again, probably would have made it a couple more times there as well. Even if I go to the next one, you can see, right, ranked 13th here. We got one ranked 14th, ranked right next high at 5, where he was behind Little Rice Boy there. That was back in July of last year. Ranked 6, ranked number 4 here. I don't know if that's the highest. We'll check. But ranked 4 here back in April of last year. Right? Ranked number 3 here behind Southern Light. Super close there, you can see. Right? Probably could have made a vie for number 2. Neff was already just so high already. But number 3, ranked number 3, 4. Let me see. We got number 10. Number 8, number 10. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like first showing I saw for TOXSIK was 2 years ago. A little over 2 years ago now. This would have been July 15th of 2023, right? So 2 years, 1 month ago, right? Where he first came on our top 25 board when we were pulling data early on, and he ranked as high as 11th, right? Right about my boy Bodie. But again, it's to kind of show you, right, where they've been. Even if we look at example, right, if I look at like Pay to Win alliances going how far back here? Let me see. Let me skadoosh my way here to 25. I think it's, yeah, let me see, just in case I don't want to miss anyone. Okay. So it looks like right there is our first showing where Pay to Win ends up placing here for the first time December 2023. So that's what, 4 months away from 2 years, a year and 8 months. And you can see here, as I clearly, I don't know what happened with this thing. But basically you could see that they ended up coming on the board placing 18th here. It was their first appearance from 85. And then since then, right, they've had 13 appearances here. With the last one, I don't know where the last one was. Let's see here, wherever I just showed that off at. Okay, yeah, so it would have been there on, yeah. So it would have been here that you can see on the 20th. So that would have been January of this year that they made it. And that was the last time I think we saw them there for whatever may have happened afterwards. But then there was the announcement here, right, that we showed this off. My face almost, look at that. Hey. But, right, this was Ruby put out this announcement on that, right, TOXSIK Ruby Stan, we're going to be stepping down, migrating. This is where we found out that they were leaving 85 and joining 40, where TFS is. Now, I don't know if they brought anyone else outside of those 3 players from their leadership, but we know at least those 3 people went. And there was kind of the farewell that they gave and the reason stated, and we covered this at that time. However, now we get to a situation where, right, another top player has seemingly quit, stopped playing. And this isn't anything out of the ordinary, right? Players quit any number of games for any number of reasons. However, for me, I think when they are a top player and there's someone who is a popular, a prominent figure in the game, where I would consider TOXSIK to be that, as much as I would have considered Nefisto, when YY, when Bob quit the first time, shout out to Bob, and any number, right, of other top players, right, that have kind of come and gone. For me, I think the one thing I love, and again, if TOXSIK is watching this or someone is there that knows, and I should state for the record, I did reach out to TOXSIK on his Discord. And I asked and I said, hey, look, I don't know if you've quit or you're not playing anymore, or if something happened, you're just taking a break. But I said, hey, look, in the event if you have quit or you've left, I'd love to do an exit interview with you. Like, I'd love to sit down and talk to you about, maybe what contributed. Is there anything about the game that you feel is just not to your liking? It's not to your preference anymore. Maybe things you might have been frustrated with. For me, I love being able to do that because more often than not, like, for example, when we did the exit interview with Meower, we did an exit interview with Nefisto, we did one with Bob. Again, the first time, shout out to Bob. If he quits again, maybe we'll do a second one. And again, those are just a few, right, that I can name. But when we had a chance to sit down with them, the great thing about it was we were really able to pick their brain. We were able to kind of figure out, okay, well, these are some of the things that were sensitive points, sensitive areas in the game for them that they either didn't gravitate towards, they didn't like. Maybe there was an area that they thought can be improved or something that can be fixed or removed. And that can, at least, you can have a conversation there. And you can see if there's any middle ground that you might meet on or connect with. And so for me, that would be awesome if there was an opportunity to do a sit down with TOXSIK and just kind of talk to him about the game. Again, if it's something he's interested in. If not, no worries. But I just want to at least state for the record that I did reach out to TOXSIK and ask him. It was a couple days ago, maybe more than that. And then 2 other notes that I want to mention here as well is that, number one, I did also reach out. Well, either I reached out or maybe Ruby reached out and just saying that, okay, hey, TOXSIK isn't playing anymore. And I had asked, well, okay, is there a reason, right? Was there a reason that maybe was given or not? And the response there was just no, there wasn't any reason that was given. Okay, fair enough. Now, there was another person that had shared something with me, but anonymously, if you will. And they said that, and this was someone else who is, I guess, close to the situation, had said that, well, the TOXSIK account maybe is in negative gems. And then there was also a note from the person saying that, well, TOXSIK may not have logged on since the start of the season, indicating that if that's true, maybe they had already quit or left, already kind of knew they weren't coming back, but didn't say anything to anyone. I think that's evident based on the fact of Guns' word and the fact that there was a number of other people that were kind of asking and trying to kind of figure out what happened. Again, from that post that we saw, it kind of leans into that. Now, maybe TOXSIK or someone near TOXSIK told Jason or told maybe someone there in TFS management that, listen, he quit, he's not coming back, but maybe nothing was publicly stated. Who knows, right? There's obviously a lot of gray area and unknown there, along with the fact that there was also another point that was mentioned from the individual on a reason why was just due to low activity in some areas or at certain times within TFS. Now, this is consistent with what Fluffy stated as well in his TFS video that he, well, as he worded it in the title, clickbaited. To each their own. I'm just saying that's what's publicly out there. And if you watch that video, he had mentioned briefly that there was just certain points, and this isn't to say like, oh, TFS is a low active alliance, and they barely get 40 people to show up on the field. We're not saying that. But it was stated that there were some times where there was lower activity than what was expected. Now, bear in mind, that can be as simple as saying, well, I'm usually seeing 175, 180 people online at pass openings or across the first day or two at multiple times versus maybe there was 125 people online, as an example, right? Which isn't a bad number, but right, there's obviously a little bit of vagueness there if we're not kind of hearing a specific number comparison. So just to kind of state that, whether or not that's true or not, right? I've only heard it from two people officially, and so a few other people have kind of mentioned things here and there. But again, I haven't heard from anyone else that has, came forward and wanted to kind of share their side of, what their experience was. And I'm always happy to hear and to listen. Aside from that, yeah, man, another one bites the dust, right? I think it sucks when, and keep in mind, I say it sucks, but in reality, IRL happens, right? There's any number of reasons on why people might quit any game, as we stated in the beginning. But I think, someone who is a popular figure and, some may say polarizing with, which probably could be said about a number of other individuals as well. I think no matter what, it brings a level of intrigue and motivation to the game. I mean, think about how many people fought against pay to win, fought against TOXSIK, how many times we saw comments about people saying, oh yeah, man, I can't wait to beat pay to win, or I can't wait to play against pay to win or play with pay to win. And which can be said about a number of other alliances, and I'm sure a number of other popular and or polarizing figures. And so for me, yeah, man, that sucks. I think it sucks to see people leave, and which again, whether that's by choice or the choice, or I guess maybe by not choice, kind of having maybe it being just more of a listen. This is just kind of where my life's going, and I just can't really participate anymore. But without dragging that on too much, right? TOXSIK, I think, will be missed by however many people, but I definitely I'll definitely miss the homie. Right, I've had good conversations with TOXSIK over the time. Maybe some ups and downs here and there, but always appreciate any time I had a chance to chat with him and to talk with him in earnest. So for me, kind of losing a good dude, if you will. I'd love to hear what you guys think on this one. If you've had an experience with TOXSIK, I'd love to know. Right. More importantly, if it was a good experience with TOXSIK, but I guess any experience regardless, right? If you have something memorable, maybe that's a better way of putting it, something memorable you'd like to share, let me know in the comments, whether it was a fight in a KVK. Maybe there was, a one-on-one or something you had on the field. Maybe you spent time in the Kingdom and the Alliance when TOXSIK was there. Anything that, maybe if TOXSIK ends up peeping back in and watching this, maybe can read some nice kind of heartfelt or warming comments, maybe hopefully more than not, down below. But that's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you a little bit later.